Signs of fatigue. When the dog starts to show signs of fatigue, try the exercise 1 or 2 more times to see if the proper position can be achieved. And if the dog is still unable to perform, then it is time to stop this exercise. Sustained stand on the peanut. The dog should be standing on the peanut in a symmetrical position with its front feet under the shoulders and stifles under the hips. It is common for dogs that do not have sufficient core strength or balance to want to tuck their hind limbs underneath their hips. When this occurs, it is acceptable to touch the dog's rear toes, which give them information to kick back their hind legs into proper position. Be sure the hind feet are not sliding off of the side of the peanut. Hold the stand position for 10 seconds. Repeat 5 times, 30-second rest interval. Sit to kickback stand on a peanut. From a symmetrical standing position on the peanut, ask the dog to sit. The hips should be square and symmetrical with the dog's head, shoulders, stifles, and toes all pointing forward. Hold the sit position for 5 seconds, and then ask the dog to stand. The dog should perform a kickback stand. When the dog stands up, the front feet should not move, eliciting all movement from the core and rear assembly, as the dog lifts and steps back into a standing position using the back feet. Hold the stand position again for 5 seconds, and move back into the down. Repeat 5 times, 3 sets, 30-second rest interval. Down to stand to down on a peanut. The dog should be standing on the peanut in a symmetrical position with its front feet under the shoulders and stifles under the hips. The dog should move into a sphinx down position with minimal foot movement. Ideally, the dog's front feet should not move. The more still the dog's feet remain during movement, the more the core muscles are activated. The front and back assemblies should move down as a unit so that the top line stays parallel to the ground. Hips are symmetrical and stifles and rear toes are pointing forward. You may use either a food lure or a nose touch to obtain the down from a stand position. Hold the down position for 5 seconds and then ask the dog to stand. The dog should rotate up to a stand without moving either front or rear feet to ensure they are engaging their core and rear assembly in their movement. The end position should be a symmetrical stand with front feet under the shoulders and stifles under the hips. There should be an equal weight distribution from left to right, both in the front limbs and in the rear limbs. The dog should have a neutral back and neutral muzzle. Be sure the hind feet are not sliding off of the side of the peanut. Hold the stand position again for 5 seconds and move back into the down. Repeat 5 times, 3 sets, 30-second rest interval. Roll peanut forward with front feet up on peanut. The goal of this exercise is for the dog to be able to roll the peanut forward 8 to 10 feet in a straight line. This exercise promotes rear end awareness and coordination, strengthens hip flexors, hind limb, and shoulder muscles as well as the core. When choosing a peanut for this exercise, the ball should be between elbow and shoulder height. The higher the ball, the more difficult the exercise, as the dog has to shift more weight to the rear assembly. Place the peanut on the ground between yourself and the dog. Invite the dog to place its front feet onto the peanut and encourage the dog to walk forward as you take a small step backward. Control the speed at which the ball moves by bracing the peanut with your feet. If you are using treats, keep the dog's muzzle neutral, or you will shift more weight to the rear assembly. Also, keep the dog's muzzle and chest over the center of the peanut to encourage the dog to stand up on its feet. The dog's hind feet should move in an independent motion. They should not hop or shuffle when moving the peanut forward. 8 to 10 feet, 5 times, 30-second rest interval. A cool down is important to bring your dog's body back to its normal physiological state. A gradual reduction in heart rate, blood pressure, etc., lowers the probability of post-exercise disturbances in cardiac rhythm. Similar to the warm-up, the cool-down will promote arterial circulation, which aids in the effective removal of metabolic waste and rebalancing of oxygenation within muscle cells. To cool down your dog after your workout, it is recommended to go for a 5 to 10 minute loose leash walk. If you would like to learn more about additional exercises or how to find a certified fitness trainer in your area, please visit our website at www.fitpawsusa.com.